Hey everybody, Greg with Drifter Journey. Exciting day for us. We picked up our new truck. So yeah, in this video we're going to go over some of the features of the new 2023 Colorado ZR2, why we chose it over the Trail Boss, and my initial thoughts with MPGs and technology, because this is all new stuff to me. So let's get into it. Okay, so we were torn on whether to get the Trail Boss or the ZR2. We're going to be using it for a combo of probably living in it. We're going to put a camper shell of some sort on the back. So ZR2 had a lower payload, which I haven't even looked at yet, to be honest. We'll check that in a minute. And a lower tow capacity versus the Trail Boss. Trail Boss was able to tow another 1,700 pounds. One of the big things we're going to need to do at our property is haul water, and water's heavy. So that was kind of a ding on this one. So in the end, the ZR2 obviously won because there were just too many good features to pass up. So for the additional, I don't know, we're going to say $6,000. Seems like a good baseline change. You're going to get some rock sliders, which I'll talk about more later. You automatically come with 33-inch Goodyear Wrangler Territory mud terrain tires on a 17-inch wheel rather than the 18 on the Trail Boss, so you're going to get more sidewall for off-roading. You get LED headlights instead of halogen. You get fog lights. You get skid plates. Better approach angle, I believe. I don't know for sure, but I mean, it's pretty wide open. It's pretty sweet. Coming around, you get heated mirrors automatically. You get the DSSV shocks, which we should show in the back corner. They're better over on this side. So, the Multimatic shocks, way better suspension. You automatically get the fancy rear tailgate with this bed storage, which I will talk about more later. And the options for fitting it out on the inside were just better. So you're able to get leather seats that are ventilated. You get nice leather with this pretty sweet trim. You get a leather wrapped steering wheel and basically a nice interior. The Trail Boss is mostly plastic from what we could see, and so your plastic up here on the doors, from what I understand, Trail Boss is pretty much all plastic, bare bones. The other huge thing you get locking front and rear differentials, electronic, so you just push a button and lock them. The Trail Boss, as you know, only has the G80 locker, and if you watch videos on that or don't know about it, it's an automatic locker. When one tire starts spinning at a certain RPM faster than the other one, it locks in, they both go, and when you watch people using it, it's pretty jerky. So for off-roading, this is going to allow you to just be locked going into an obstacle. You also get one more inch of lift. So that's pretty much the main reason we picked the ZR2 over the Trail Boss. So let's go into some of the features and MPGs and a couple things that I already don't like. We are, I think, like 180 miles in on the truck. It had 5 when I showed up to pick it up, and we'll tell you how we got it too. Everybody, let's take a quick second to talk about the sponsor for this video and let you know how to get a discount on their products. This video is sponsored by Epic Water Filters. They're out of Colorado. They have water filters that go in Nalgene's for when you're hiking, and they also have products to filter tap water at your house. Check out their website. We got a link below for them, and use code DRIFTERJOURNEY, all caps, to get 20% off your order. All right, so we'll go over the window sticker. For the ZR2, it is the worst of the bunch. Estimated fuel economy of 16 city, 16 highway, due to those large tires. I will say it's at like 17.1 right now on this first tank. I'm hoping as it breaks in, it gets a little bit better. And that was driving from Colorado Springs, Colorado, up over the mountains down to Southwest Colorado. So I think on flat ground or just kind of highway cruising, if it's not trying, it's going to do better than that. But expect 16, and when you get more, be happy, which I'm happy already because I was worried it was going to be the other way around. The options that came on this one, so this comes to how I got one. We've been looking since April. I went to Chevy.com, I put in the build spec for how I wanted one and hit search, and then I got a spreadsheet and just started writing down every ZR2 that came up. So I searched, filtered by color, and just wrote down every one and every dealer, looked up the window stickers, which you can usually get on there, and I made a list of what had the things I wanted, which the main thing that I wanted to add was the ZR2 Convenience Package 3 is $1,500. It gives you leather front seats, heated steering wheel, the driver saved memory settings for 2 people, just some nice things that most people are probably going to want to add. Put that all in, made the list, started calling dealers. I found one in Illinois that I was going to be able to lock down, and then I found this one in Colorado Springs, which was closer. This one was actually more expensive because it came with a sunroof, which is $1,000, and the technology package, which was coming on a lot of them for $950, which gives you the HD surround vision, rear pedestrian alert, some stuff I didn't think we needed, but it will come in handy. And then the Bose stereo for $500, which I wouldn't have ordered, but it is nice. So yeah, once I did that, just start calling dealers and say, hey, is this one available? Get their stock number. They usually like that. So yeah, when you're calling the dealers, if you have the stock number that's on the Chevy website, it'll help them look it up quickly. And then ideally, you know, there were several that said, oh, that one's already sold, this one's already sold. There's a really bad dealer in New Mexico that's doing a $5,000 upcharge on them right now. There's another one in Arizona that's adding tinted windows and all this junk that I didn't want for $3,000. So just make sure you're clear with them what you need and what you're willing to pay, and then see if they have it available for you. And if it is available, see if you can work a deal. So I actually bought it from his Mike Maroney Chevy South in Colorado Springs, Colorado. They were really good to work with. They didn't give me a deal, which I tried pretty hard and failed miserably because these are in popular demand. But they were really good to work with. I flew up there, they picked me up from the airport, and I told them, hey, I don't want this to be a pain in the butt, because we know that going to dealerships can be a pain in the butt. And they made it really easy, actually. So we sat down, I tried to talk the prices down, and then that didn't really happen much. And then we just made a deal and got it out of there. All right, let's talk about some of the things that I like. But first off, we'll come up here, look at the payload sticker. 1,231 pounds. So what that means is with us, the dog, which is laying down actually, which is good, and all of our gear, we can put 1,230 pounds into this thing. And that's not the best, but the camper we're looking at's under 300 pounds, so we should have enough. That was one of my concerns. I guess that we're kind of talking about some things that are bad right now, so I guess we'll go over the bad things real quick. The rock sliders, I don't know why they tucked them down so far. I guess it's kind of even with the frame rail down here, so that's probably why. But I would have liked to have seen it up a couple more inches to hug the body a little more. I'm a little more concerned about that. The one thing that I was also bummed about, the little watertight storage container, and hopefully maybe it'll get a little better, but the locks on it just seem kind of cheap, and it's wearing. So for this price point, the reason I saw it was yesterday there was a big gap in here, and I don't know if they didn't have it closed right and that was just kind of bowed out, but we're gonna keep it locked closed for a little bit and see if it seals up. But you're supposed to be able to use that as a cooler, which I probably never would, but I don't want a bunch of dust getting in there, and there was a huge gap. So not the end of the world, but for the price point, you would hope, you know, some of these things would be a little bit cleaner. What else was I a little bummed about? Oh, so on the interior, on your visors, you get lights, and this is just picky stuff that's not really that big of a deal. But these just look super cheap and old. It's an expensive truck, so you would have hoped they upgraded those a little bit. The same with these center lights, just looks kind of cheesy. Obviously not a deal breaker. And what else was I bummed on? I think that's really it. Oh, no, one more big thing that I actually am bummed on. In the back, the seats fold up, and you have your, plastic with storage under there, your jack and whatnot. But they got rid of the split rear seat that folds down. So we have a dog with us. In an ideal world, the back of it's still carpeted. They used to come down, but for whatever reason, they decided to get rid of that feature where you would be able to just pull a strap and pull these down flat, which would have been ideal for putting coolers in, the dog, things like that, just to keep it nicer back here. It just feels like they were looking for a way to save a few bucks, and I think people really like that feature. So hopefully they bring it back, and supposedly there might be, I don't think it's out yet, but maybe there'll be a workaround. But that's really the only downfalls to this thing. So let's go over the things that are awesome. All right, so the exciting things. There's a lot of them. So the clearance, the 33-inch tires, the 3-inch lift, it's big, it's ready to go. The lockers, this thing should be a beast off-road. We're probably not going to go insane with it, but we're probably going to do more than a lot of people would. So I think if you're getting this trim, you're probably going to go do some off-roading. But it's expensive too, and we don't want to ruin it right away because we're not one of those huge channels that just gets to break things for no reason. But if you guys support us and hit all the like and subscribe and we go big, maybe we'll exponentially get gnarlier as the funds are available. Everybody's stoked on the red tow hooks. I don't know why, but people like red tow hooks. So it's got skid protection. There's a plate here. There's one down. I don't want to crawl under again, but I believe it was over the transmission transfer case. I will want to add one over the gas tank at some point. And I do want to add probably a bumper and winch combo if we have the payload availability and it's not outrageously expensive. I haven't even popped the hood yet, but the inside, the trim is nice, the accents are nice. We got the power driver's seat with the 2 settings. I've never had ventilated seats before, so they're not actually, from what I'm understanding, they're not actually air conditioned seats. They just have a fan in them and it does blow up. So yeah, when you're sitting on them, there's a fan. It has 3 different settings. Just blows a fan up the rear of the seat and up your back a little bit, helps you stay cool, which works quite well. All right, so into the interior. This is all technology stuff that I don't know how to do yet, but this one came with the adaptive cruise control, so you can set your actual speed by mile per hour. So I had it set at the speed limit yesterday, and you can then set your following distance from vehicles in front of you, and it just does the speed, and if it catches up with something that's going slower, it just slows down for you. That was quite nice. I didn't think I would really be into it, but it worked well. It's got lane keep assist, which also worked. I don't always like it. If you come across the dash, you got a button for all 4 windows down, auxiliary button, which I would assume isn't connected to anything currently, lane keep, hazards, auto start stop for stoplights and whatnot. I turned that off because I don't like that feature on cars. Front and rear locker, and then just the rear locker. Down here you have a phone charger, and then a couple USB spots, and then you got all kinds of fancy dash stuff. So let's turn it on. I don't know how to do a lot of this, so I don't know what. Start vehicle. Do you press brake to start? Guess you have to press the brake. But yeah, the screen, it's gonna have fingerprints all the time. Buckle seatbelt to shift. So it's like your mom or your dad, someone watching out for you constantly. So it won't let me take it out of park until I put my seatbelt on. But it doesn't have Android and Apple CarPlay, which I don't know how to use yet. I'm gonna figure all that out. The screens are quite nice. Let's see if we can get into, I'm sure you've watched TFL Trucks. They show you all the fancy screen stuff. So just go watch theirs if you want to see how all this works, because Andre, he has one and he knows how to make all that work. So I'll do that more in the future. Somehow I'm on kilometers an hour now. I don't know how to change that. So I don't know why I did that either. I probably pressed something. So we'll have to get that fixed. But yeah, all in all, up through here, you got the fan for the seat. So there's 3 levels there. Looks like heated seats, 3 levels there. I don't know what that button does. Something about up. Front and down for the fans, on and off. And then you got AC and then sync. I believe we have separate temperatures right now. Right, I'm at 62, 65. You sync them, then it just goes together. Recirculating, you got fan up and down. Rear defogger, max heat, maybe? Does something. I have to look in the manual. And then auto, actually, I was interested. So if you have it set at 61 and you auto, it controls the fans and it will adjust. I didn't really like it, but if you're into it. Now I gotta stop it. You can do that. Over here are some more buttons. I don't know how they'd work. You got a heated steering wheel, I can see that there. There's a music button, there's some buttons on the back. I don't know what any of that stuff does. Turn signal here. Mine's doing something weird. If you take a right turn, sometimes it goes and the left turn signal turns on. So hopefully that'll be something that's an easy fix to figure out. See, now my left turn signal's on. But now it's off. But I had it. Let's see if we can do it. See if we get it to do it again. All right, so we're turning left. I don't know, it's not doing it. But sometimes it just stays on left and it doesn't make any sense at all. You don't have a light control, which a lot of people are bummed about. But you do have a light button right here, which I didn't think was that bad. It's always there. And so you can have them off, which I didn't know that. I thought you had to have them on all the time. So you can turn them off, set them to auto, and then that's probably fog lights down there, brights. But I was really bummed about it because I didn't think you could do your brights without going in here, but you still can. You can just pull that. Oh, you can't. So you can pull it to just see, but pushing out doesn't turn them on permanently unless I'm on the wrong one. Okay, I was on the wrong one. So yeah, pushing out, you can control your brights on and off still, which from what I was understanding, people were saying you couldn't. So not a huge deal to me. As for figuring out how all this stuff works, there's a lot. We'll go into that in another video once I know how to do it. But I think that kind of covers this for an initial see what the ZR2 is all about. If you want to care, if you really care, there's a little armrest here. And it's got a little thing in there. There is rear air conditioning somewhere back there. Oh, and the other thing I forgot. So you got air here, 2 chargers, and a AC outlet down there. And we still going? We got some gunfire, but we can keep going. One other thing I was actually really excited to see was an AC outlet in the bed. I didn't know that that came with it. It does come with the bed liner automatically too, which wasn't on the Trail Boss without paying extra. But there are multiple tie down points. Forget, he told me there were a lot, but I see it looks like 4. Then you got some open spots up here. You could put in, I think they're meant for 2x4s to raise it if you need to. So on and so forth. Another thing I forgot that this comes with standard that doesn't on the Trail Boss is the trailering package. So you get your 2-inch hitch, you got a full-size spare down here, you have your 7-pin and 4-pin connections there, and the trailer brake, which everybody's talked about, is right in here. It's great that it comes with it. Nobody likes the location of it, but it's there, it comes with it. So those are all add-ons for the Trail Boss, which bring up the price a bit. Let's do a little bit of undulating of the wheels. Okay, so this is much larger than the Geo Tracker, but I do have an aerial view on the screen here. I didn't show you the different, well, you look all weird when you stand there. But anyways, we have an overhead view, rear view. You can look at the front. You can look at the front of the top, back of the top, sides. So those are the front tires, back tires, and then that's just a zoom in of the front tires. So we go back. If I figure out how to go back. Oh yeah, and then you have a trailer hitch view. Okay guys, well, thank you for watching. This is the first look at the ZR2. We're going to go and put it on some better trails here in the future. But for right now, we just wanted to show you what it could do pretty quickly, because we just threw this together right by the house. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.